Thank you for giving me this opportunity to make my opening remarks regarding the white paper. This is a white paper on the Indian economy and its impact on the lives of the people of India.
For the first time, any government in the history of independent India came out with its own report card. It was dubbed the White Paper by the Modi government. The 17th Lok Sabha held its last session and the Prime Minister made his final speech. The last budget was also presented by the Finance Minister. The budget, the White Paper and the Prime Minister's final speech present a clear picture of their 10-year journey. What they inherited and what they promised and what they delivered. When the Modi government started working, it bore a lot of baggage that it had gotten from the previous Manmohan Singh government. Let us look at the multiple dimensions one by one. Inflation. Inflation went out of control during the last 5 years of the UPA government, and it was the common man who had to bear the burden. It had touched double digits, and under the Modi government, inflation was successfully reined in and kept within single digits. The bad loan. The bad loan problem was plaguing the banks. The previous Vajpayee government that had successfully brought down the gross non-performing assets to the ratio of 7.8% when they left, climbed back up to 12.3% by 2013 under the UPA. This happened because of the corrupt political interference during the UPA rule. But that was not all. Many problematic loans were intentionally not recognized during the UPA rule. When the Modi government came to power, these NPAs were duly recognized even at the risk of public ridicule and anger. It needs courage to do the right thing. And the Modi government did just that. Under PM Modi, the public sector banks registered profit exceeding 1 lakh crore in financial year 23 and 24 alone. By the time the UPA government left, the foreign reserves were down to only 6 months of import capacity. To compare the same with the previous NDA government, it was 17 months of import capacity they had left the foreign reserves at. So the UPA came in with 17 months of foreign reserves and reduced it to 7 months by the time they left. While as per the latest data, the RBI has added $58 billion to the foreign reserves in just the calendar year 2023. And in the week ending in December 22, in 2023, India added $4.71 billion to its foreign reserves. In their own affidavit to the Supreme Court, the UPA government admitted that they failed at building infrastructure adequately. They also credited the Vajpayee government for adding 24,000 kilometers of highways in 5 years, while the UPA could add only 16,000 kilometers in the period of 10 years. Under PM Modi, the pace of construction has reached 28 kilometers a day, which is 130% higher than the previous government. And when it comes to social welfare, during the UPA rule, 6.4% of the budget expenditure was left unutilized. In short, 94,000 crores that was to be spent for the upliftment of the poor and the marginalized was wasted. What was the cause? Extremely poor policy planning and execution on the part of corrupt and lazy UPA. Contrastingly, with the direct benefit transfer, the Modi government has made sure that all benefits reach the desired beneficiaries, and they have reached without any leakage. The expenditure on defense. The expenditure on defense during the UPA took a complete backseat. By 2012, Indian defense forces were facing shortages of equipment and ammunition. Fighter jets were ordered but never delivered. A decision as simple as providing night vision goggles and bulletproof jackets to our soldiers were not carried through. What should one make of this? At the same time, the budget of the Border Road Organization quadrupled to the 4 times under the Modi government. The Rafale fighter jets were procured. Indigenization happened at the breakneck speed. OROP, INS Vikrant, and not just these. Indigenous defense manufacturing is soaring and making India Atmanirbhar. India is also growing as an exporter of defense technology and equipment. 2G, 3G, CWG, Colgate, Chit Fund, and many more. Corruption scandals were falling out of UPA bag like rabbits out of a magician's hat. The magic of corruption. This point does not even need elaboration. While under PM Modi, nobody has been able to even point a finger to call the leader a corrupt man. Healthcare, the most basic need of all. During the UPA regime, the out-of-pocket expenditure was 64.2% of the total money spent on healthcare. They started at 69.4% in 2004. What an improvement! A minuscule 5% in 10 years. The biggest and the only achievement of the UPA. But what this really means is that the common Indian pockets were leaking just to get by and secure a necessity as basic as health. While now, the Jan Aushadhi Kendras have bought all generic medicines to the common person at a fair price, and the number of these stores have gone up from 80 to 10,000 in just 10 years of the Modi regime. Even though India reeled under the COVID pandemic for 2 years, all the fiscal indicators were kept under control. Despite an international crisis like the Ukraine war, India led by Modi did not give in to the pressures of the West. We held a G20 under our presidency and made a Delhi declaration happen. The PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana makes sure that the most vulnerable sections of the society are well fed and have basic social security that all deserve. Indian entrepreneurial spirit, which had been dampened by centuries of being bogged down, has again reinvigorated by the PM through Startup India. The Indian youth is going all out with 111 unicorns already built. And with the number of registration happening every day, we will soon be the business leaders globally. And during his final speech, the PM laid out his vision more clearly, including the points we talked about until now. He also made it clear that no matter how unpopular it might sound, he is willing to swallow the bitter pill. He talked about how he believed in reframing the reservations and maybe even do away with them. He clearly said that India cannot be allowed to be run by second-grade people who do not deserve what they have. But he was not opposing affirmative action. He was talking about making it fair and better. He talked about the new parliament building and the vision of a decolonized India that it represented. He mentioned the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam giving 33% reservation to women, triple talaq for Muslim women that brought them respect and justice. He hailed the new Nyaya Sanhita ending the colonial hangover. Today, New India stands for scale and speed. New India stands for the vision of Viksit Bharat. The new India that is run by merit and not by having the right name. It takes a lot of courage and confidence to be so transparent. The Modi government, with the 17th Lok Sabha ending, has made an open declaration to the electorate about what they stand for and all that they have done despite all the challenges they had to face. In fact, the white paper and the PM's speech has separated the white from the black. Now it is up to us to make the right choice.